What's up, guys? It's Travis with another episode of Finishing a Room in Your Basement. My room is all painted and looking good. Well, mostly. It's time to replace these temporary lights with some nice LED wafer lights and install some outlets. I'll be using these Leviton tamper-resistant outlets, these Z-Wave dimmer switches, and these Sunco LED wafer lights. If you're interested in any of these, I put links down below. Before you get started, shut off the power and make sure you have some lights so you can see what you're doing. If I didn't have my camera lights, I'd probably use my headlight. It's super goofy looking, but your hands are free to work instead of holding a light. Don't be a hero. If you're uncomfortable with anything I do in this video, hire a professional. Once the power is off, I use a voltage tester pen and an outlet tester to ensure everything is powered down so I don't electrocute myself again. I put a link to these tools and all the other tools I'm using down below. My drywaller was super messy. So the next thing I need to do is clean all the drywall mud out of my outlet holes. I need a new drywall guy. You only need to clean enough out of the hole to get to the screw holes and fit the outlet into the box. To clean the drywall mud out of the hole, I just carefully use a utility knife and a straight edge. Just take your time and be careful not to damage the drywall that won't be covered by a faceplate. I installed a temporary outlet, so I had one to use when I was drywalling the room. So first I'll take that one out. When I remove an outlet I don't plan to reuse, I just cut the wires off close to the outlet and then restrip the wires. You'll want to strip them back about 3/4 of an inch. Once all the wires are stripped, you attach the white or neutral wire to the silver terminals on the new outlet, and the black or hot wire to the brass terminals. The ground wire goes to the green screw. Some people really don't like using these holes in the back of the outlet to secure the wires. While I agree that that is not as secure as using a screw, I've never had any issues when doing this. In fact, if you have a newer home, your builder probably used these to save time when building your home. Because I'm not in a hurry and I like to err on the safe side, I'm going to attach my wire to the screws themselves by curling the end of the wire like this. Loosen the screw and put the wire under the head of the screw. Install the curl of the wire oriented so the curl gets tighter as you turn the screw to the right. Now tighten the screw down. Repeat with all 3 wires. There are 2 mounting screws for each color wire on these outlets, and there's 1 for the ground. If you have more than 2 white and black wires coming into the box like this, you can either push the additional wires into the holes in the back of the outlet or make another pigtail. The ground should already be pigtailed together. If you need to make a pigtail, just strip the wires you want to connect and then wire nut a scrap piece of wire to them. Then you can just push the wires back into the box and attach the pigtail to the outlet. Most outlets have these little tabs on them that can be bent back. If the drywall is too far away from the box to support the ends of the outlet, you can bend these tabs back until they hit the outlet box so it's properly supported. To install the outlet to the box, just push all the wires back into the box and then start screwing the outlet into these holes with the captured screws. As you're screwing in the outlet, bend it left or right to make sure it will sit flat against the drywall. Tighten the screws almost all the way down so you can slightly move the outlet. Place a small level on the outlet to make sure it's level, then tighten the screws. Now just install the faceplate. I like having all the screws oriented with the slot vertical. Repeat these steps for all your outlets. If for some reason your smaller faceplate doesn't cover the hole where the outlet is, you can actually buy larger faceplates. Personally, I prefer the smaller faceplates, even if it means I need to patch the drywall later. Now let's install these LED wafer lights. I went with this style because I didn't have room for recessed lights with all the stuff going on in my ceiling. These lights require a normal ceiling box and have a similar look to recessed lights. These lights are dimmable and only use 15 watts each. I selected 3000 Kelvin temperature lights. The lower the number, the warmer the color of the light. 5000 Kelvin would be very cool white, almost blue. 4000 Kelvin would be very white. The 3000 Kelvin lights I'm using will give me a slightly yellow, warm colored light. Installing these lights is super easy. Using wire nuts, just connect all the white and black wires. Then connect the last wire to ground. In this case, the ground is yellow and green. Tuck all the wires into the box and then use the included screws to attach the light to the box and then twist the cover in place. The last thing to install are the light switches. I used relatively cheap light switches up until now. My final light switches will be the Z-Wave dimmer switches that work with the rest of my smart home. Most basic switches like this one just need a ground and 2 black wires attached. One black wire supplies power and the other goes to the lights. The one that supplies power is called the line, and the one that goes to the lights is called the load. They've designed these new dimmer switches so you can hook either the line or load wire to either black screw. The dimmer should be marked to show you which is line and which is load. As I said, this one shows that it doesn't matter which goes where. So I'll hook up the 2 black wires first. This new switch requires a neutral wire, so I'll make a neutral pigtail. To make the pigtail, just pull the neutral wires out of the box. Take off the wire nut, add the pigtail wire, and put the wire nut back on. Then push all but the pigtail back in the box. Then hook the white neutral wire to the silver screw the same way. The switches are designed to have the wires pushed into the back and fully secured by the screws. Now install the bare ground wire to the green screw on top. The brass screw is for the traveler wire. That's for a 3-way light. I don't have any of those in this room, so I won't be covering that in this video. Push all the wires back in the box and then screw the switch screws almost all the way in so the switch can still move a little. Then use your level to get the switch straight and tighten down the screws. Finally, install the faceplate and you're done. As I mentioned before, this is a Z-Wave dimmer switch and can be used with a lot of smart home systems. If you have any questions about this, please leave a comment down below. Okay, we are all done. Let's turn the power back on and test our lights and outlets. Victory! Make sure the switches turn the lights on and off, and then test all the outlets with an outlet tester. If there are any issues, turn the power back off and double check all your connections. Well, as you can see, I am all done. Everything looks great, and I barely even electrocuted myself. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click like and subscribe and that little notification bell so you don't miss my next video where I'll be installing flooring. We'll see you guys.